coming to the Strong Herd. It's a barbell-based way of training to help women get stronger. But it's not only just for women. This particular seminar is, but this certainly could be for men, children, anybody who wants to get stronger as far as that goes. Where did this whole concept come from? This whole concept initially has to go back a few years ago where my wife and I were on vacation down in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We had gone through a zip line experience where they had you do a whole different course of things, an obstacle courses, zip lines, doing trails, doing rope ladders, the whole 9 yards. We're both in very good shape. She's a professional bodybuilder. I'm a chiropractor. We do a lot of weight training ourselves. So for us, it was an invigorating experience. We made it through the whole thing, enjoyed it immensely, and magically in the middle of this jungle, there was a bar that we sat down and had a beer with. Beer and talked about the whole experience. Well, as we're doing that, we're looking, there's a hill, and on this hill there's steps with railings, and that's the only place where there's railings and steps in this whole course. And as we're looking up, we're seeing these people come down, 3 or 4 couples in their late 50s, mid 60s, not very old. And to a person, they're holding onto the railing, coming down one step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. Sadly, you can see that they were not cut out to do this obstacle course, to do this zip line course. Whoever sold them this had sold them a bill of goods. A condition certainly known as, and as you looked at them, you can see their legs were very skinny, their arms were very skinny, and they had a lot of truncal obesity. It's a thing called sarcopenia. That's something that happens as we get older. It can happen as early as 30 years of age, but it also can also affect us and it gets more progressive as we get older. So at the age of 60, 35 to 40% of people have it. As you get older than that, as you get in the 70s, it affects 60% of the people. 60% muscle loss. That's a lot of muscle loss, as a matter of fact. You can hit the button, please. So from a woman's standpoint, who typically is not known as a stronger sex, it all starts with a decision as to what do you want. And when you talk about what do you want, in the confines or the constructs of being stronger, a lot of times women go, well, I don't want big muscles. Well, getting stronger doesn't necessarily mean getting bigger muscles. It does mean that you are getting stronger though. If you want to, you can get bigger muscles training appropriately, training in a certain way and eating in a certain way. You hit the button for me. So the common challenges that most women face and a lot of men face is who do you believe? There's so many voices out there in this fitness industry as far as that goes. So when you're dealing with these different voices, there's a lot of what they call bro science out there, a lot of just kind of pseudoscience that floats around as far as that goes. So you have, are these experts really experts? When you're looking at ingredients of oil, is this good information? Generally speaking, yes. You want to avoid the hydrogenated oils, certain high fructose corn syrup, enriched flour and stuff. Does Dr. Oz work out a lot? I would say not. Does he really know how to work out and train? I would say not. Does Oprah know how to train? I would say definitely not. And what ends up happening is you have someone like Dr. Oz who comes on and says, raspberry ketones is the way to go. And what do people do? Like a herd of wildebeest, they go to the stores and they buy up raspberry ketones because of all these magical effects that he talks about. And then once that wears off and people don't see those effects, and then what do? He comes on and says, well, how about green coffee beans? And they run like wildebeest to buy green coffee beans. And again, they don't get the results. So what you see is a spike in raspberry ketone sales, and then it plummets. You see a spike in green coffee beans, and then it plummets. So the question has to be asked, is the pill the answer? Does the answer come in a pill? Or is there something more? Because when women, one of the biggest things that women have or deal with, they want to, they don't think of being stronger per se, but they want to lose weight. And if you don't lose weight for weight's sake, you're just looking at the scale and not changing your body composition, that's a problem. The problem comes in from that perspective is that when you're losing weight and you go to your doctor, you go, doc, I want to lose weight. 10 out of 10 physicians are going to tell you, well, do cardio. Cardio, I'm sorry to say, ladies, cardio is the absolutely wrong answer for losing weight. Because when you're trying to lose weight and you're doing cardio, you're going to lose body fat and muscle at a 1-to-1 ratio, which means if you started out weighing 150 pounds and you trim yourself down to 130 pounds, which is 20-pound weight loss, you're going to lose 10 pounds of body fat, 10 pounds of muscle. So your body composition remains the same. What does that mean? That means that your metabolism has not improved at all. And most likely that whatever program you're doing, when you come off of that, you're going to gain that weight back, that 20 pounds, plus probably 5 or 10. I wonder if any of you had that experience. Go ahead. So when you change your body composition, here's what happens. You want to add muscle. How do you add muscle? You add muscle through weight training. 2 or 3 or 4 pounds of muscle makes a tremendous difference in how your body responds, reacts, and metabolizes food. So when your metabolism improves, you burn more calories. What does that mean? You can eat more. It's not a bad thing, right? You get away with it. You have more energy. When you have a higher metabolism, typically you have a lot more energy. You also burn fat when you build muscle. That's what you want to be able to do, is burn your fat, keep and preserve and build your muscle. And those things can happen. You can improve your health because when you're eating right and you're training right, your insulin levels are going to improve. Insulin is a big problem nowadays as far for people because they're getting too many simple carbohydrates, the high fructose corn syrup, too much flour, too much processed food. That's going to spike your blood sugar levels. That's going to create inflammation. That could potentially lead down the road to heart disease, diabetes, or increased arthritic problems, strokes, you name it. All starts with what? Blood sugar levels. When you exercise, you're eating better, you sleep better. Your organs function better, your blood panels improve, which is a very important thing. And guess what? When you're training, you're eating right, you begin to look better. You begin to change your body composition. You feel better. Go ahead. Here's an example of a extreme change. This is Amy in the off-season training and then also a day after competition. This is the extreme example of a body composition change where she's lost body fat, she's trimmed down the body fat, she's added some muscle, she's actually defining the muscle and showing what's going on. There's varying degrees to body composition change. For a lot of women, they don't want to be this defined, and that's okay. You don't have to be. But you can certainly change within those parameters. You have a lot of room to work with. Go ahead. So it's time to, choose not to be ordinary, not to go through your life and just expect that these things are going to happen and that it's just a slow slide downhill. At a certain age, a lot of people think it is. Choose not to be ordinary. Ordinary truly is a disease. So you want to hustle with it. You want to get better with that. So go ahead. So how do you do this and not lose your mind? That's the biggest thing, because a lot of times women go on some different diets. And you want to figure out how you're going to go through this. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Control your insulin. Build muscle. Proper training. Then when I say proper training, it's not going to the gym and flailing around or talking to your boyfriend to find out what's going on. That's not the way. Get a trainer. Get somebody who knows what they're doing, who's had experience, who's been where you've been and gone beyond where you've been, so they can help you along. That's huge. That's a monstrous thing. Big thing. Common challenge I've seen my clients face. It's usually 3 things. 1, starvation diet. The first thing they want to do, I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to eat, and I'm going to not have any calories, and I'm just going to lose weight. And guess what? It doesn't work. Not a good idea. Hormonal imbalance is a big one. This happens for women of any age. You can have adrenal imbalances, ovary imbalances, liver imbalances, thyroid imbalances. All of those create problems for women. And when any of those happen, it's going to create an issue. Unrealistic expectations. I just was reading on the internet where some young man wanted to gain 15 pounds, 30 pounds of muscles in 15 weeks. When he was writing a professional bodybuilder how to do that. And of course, the bodybuilder had a kind of a tongue-in-cheek response, and someone who I respect greatly and said the same idea I had. 3 pounds is about what you can expect, as far as gaining muscle in about a 15-week span. That's about true. That's about right. With optimal conditions, but oftentimes we have unrealistic expectations. A lot of times women will get into a boot camp scenario, a 60-day boot camp, and want to lose 30 pounds in 60 days. Very unrealistic expectation. But in time, you can make those changes. That's the thing. Time, hard work, and effort. Go ahead. challenges that you face. In the starvation diet, the calories are too low. Usually, you get good results for a week or two, and then all of a sudden it stops because your metabolism catches up to you, slows down, and you can't lose any more weight. It does make losing weight very difficult. You're very grouchy. You don't have any energy. Hormonal imbalances usually is an excess of either progesterone or estrogen production. You may have some undiagnosed or subclinical hypothyroid condition which slows down your metabolism. There's some nutritional ways to fix that. We'll talk about that later. Many times if you let this go, as you get older, this gets worse with age. That 5 or 10 pounds in college becomes 15 or 20 pounds when you have kids, becomes 30 or 40 pounds 10 or 15 years down the road. So it becomes a bigger problem as you go along. And then again, we talked about unrealistic expectations. Expecting a lot of weight loss in a short period of time, which is very discouraging when you go in with the idea and all of a sudden it doesn't happen for you. Last but not least, you jump on these fad diets or these fad supplements. The raspberry ketones or the green coffee beans, the little pill fix, and you think it's going to do everything for you, and it doesn't. Go ahead. So what's your motivation for change? And I'm going to hand this over in just a minute to Miss Amy. One is fear. Sometimes it's a fear of a number of things, so go ahead. It could be a fear of change. I have to change my lifestyle. I have to do things I don't want to do. I have to give up certain things. I have to give up certain foods. Could be a fear of loss. Again, I have to lose. I'm not going to have my favorite snack, my favorite this or that. It could be a fear of illness too. But maybe that's what's going to push you to change is the fear of illness. I've got diabetes in my family. I don't want to have it. I've got heart disease in my family. I don't want to have it. Arthritis in the family. I don't want to have it. Or I'm going downhill, and if I don't change, it's going to only get worse. Those could be your motivations for change. Sometimes doctor recommendations as to what's going on with that. Go ahead, next one. So, are you tired of being overweight, alone, sick, single, always taking care of others and not yourself? Or just tired of being tired? Now's the time to make a change if any of those things ring your bell or something else.
All right, so exactly what Dr. Hauck has been talking about leads you might have been listening and saying, yeah, that's me. I'm fearful of change. I'm fearful of the things that might happen to me, the fear of the unknown. A lot of women look at weight training especially as building bulky muscle and becoming muscle bound and these kind of things. And that is a fear that is not grounded in truth. The truth is that weight training is the definite way to assure a healthy lifestyle. Assure yourself that as you go into the aging process, that you will be strong, you will be able to manage things for yourself, you'll be able to not rely on others to do the things that you want to do, even the daily tasks in your life. The truth is that strength training is going to lead to vitality in your own life. Strength training is going to lead to confidence in your own life. There's many, many benefits. Realizing your own power. Albert Einstein said the world as we created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. And that applies to many, many things, but it also applies to what we're talking about today. Getting stronger, getting in the gym, barbell training, all these concepts. What you have to manage them, change your thinking. Approach weight training in a different way, perhaps a different way. Maybe you've gone to the gym and you were on the machines and people kind of told you that's where you ought to go because of your age. That's where you ought to go because of your weight. That's where you ought to go because of your level of experience. That's not true. So you need to change your way of thinking. Don't shy away from the squat rack. Don't hide when they start deadlifting. Bench pressing, ladies, it's for you. When you realize, I'm sorry, can you go back to that one? When you realize you have the power to be and do what you desire to do, change can happen easily. No one can make you change. You must be in control of your change. You must be the motivator. Changing, when I say, if you've never worked out before, and I say, hey, Sally, come on to the gym with me, and you're laying on your couch, watching TV, eating some ho-hos, that doesn't sound good. The gym, it's over there. I have to get dressed. It's going to be hard. They're going to make me sweat. People are going to be looking at me. I don't want to do that. That's the hard thing. You're not motivated to do that. You haven't experienced it yet. But if you would make that decision, get into the gym, and see that not everybody is staring at you, and that it wasn't as horrible as you thought it was. As a matter of fact, it was very beneficial. And you loved it. We're going to get into some of the benefits of why you loved it. But you've already started to make that change in your thinking. This isn't a horrible thing, it's actually a good thing. And it's really cool because I'm doing something positive for myself and my future. So change our way of thinking. Benefits of exercise. This is what I said. You make that change, you get off the couch, put down the Twinkies, you get in the gym, you have a good workout, you find that you feel good. Why do you feel good? Because your serotonin production has been elevated. Your dopamine production has been elevated. Noradrenaline production has increased. These are all good benefits. This is why you feel good. It's called, sometimes they call it runner's high or whatnot. But it's the squatter's high, it's the deadlifter's high, it's the bencher's high, it's the weight trainer's high that you too will experience when you get off the couch, when you make that decision that weight training isn't something for guys, weight training isn't something for bodybuilders or powerlifters, weight training is for human beings. New brain, long-term exercises changes your anatomy, you know that? Just like if you decide to read War and Peace, you're going to read Dostoevsky, you're going to read Dickens, whatever you're going to read, it's going to lay down neural pathways in your mind, in your brain, because you're taxing your brain, you're pushing yourself, you're making new pathways. The same is true with exercise. You're pushing yourself, you're getting under a squat rack, and you're going to do something yesterday you could not do. You're going to lay down different neural pathways, just kinesiologically, if that's a word. Your body is learning new patterns, your brain is learning new things, you're facing challenges, physically and mentally. It's a good thing. New brain cells are forming, increasing long-term memory. As you age, isn't that important? And it has a protective effect on the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex. And by the way, in Stronger, the program that we're going to embark on, you're going to know these things. You're going to learn about these things. Like, well, our hippocampus, why do I care about that? You're going to care about it, you're going to know about it. Hold on degenerative mental illness, Alzheimer's, dementia. See, my kids can't fool me and tell me, Mom, you're crazy, because I weight train. I'm not crazy. Getting stronger, change your body composition, as Dr. Hauck said. It's about losing fat, gaining muscle. When you lose fat, you go to your fit body boot camp or whatever the thing is, and you're running on the beach and you're having fun and hanging out with girlfriends for 10 days or whatever the length of the boot camp is, you lost weight. That's wonderful. You get off the boot camp, what happened? And you didn't do any weight training, by the way, in that boot camp. You did some beauty bells, and you had a rope, and you danced around. But when the boot camp's over, you go back to your old habits, you haven't learned anything, you haven't gotten stronger, and what happens? You get that 10 pounds back. Is it 10 pounds of muscle that you're getting back? No. It's fat plus more. So you're really getting back what you lost, and then some. So your body comp, your fat to lean muscle tissue ratio in your body is actually shifted. So now you're getting fatter. And you'll have that intervals of fit boot camps or whatever you're engaging in, a Pilates class or something, Zumba. Every time you do that and then you stop, you go back to your old habits, you're actually gaining more weight. Okay? So it was a fun experience. You lost 10 pounds. But in the meantime, you're gaining weight because you keep dropping off and going back to your old habits. Getting stronger, change your body comp, we're talking about that. Lose weight, avoid what Dr. Hauck said, sarcopenia. I want you guys to learn that. You'll learn a lot about that so that when you go out to the mall or the beach or wherever you are, you can go, oh my gosh, there goes sarcopenia. Nobody will know what you're talking about. They won't take offense. They have no idea what that is. But you'll see these people who have very little spindly legs and a very big upper torso, right? They're not in shape. If somebody yells fire, they're going to get burned because they can't get out of their own way. And they're 55 years old. There's no reason in the world that should be happening. You live longer. And the best thing about it is you're harder to kill, right? If there is a fire, you're out of there. So be in better shape, be stronger, be harder to kill. Jenna Ushkowitz, she's a Korean actress, says healthy foods are great, but it's important to keep your body active. Your muscles only get stronger and build more endurance for everyday things if you're moving and get the blood pumping. Exercising stimulates certain brain chemicals and can put you in a better mood. Cicero. It is exercise alone that supports the spirits and keeps the mind in vigor. So even the Romans knew this was true. Health is a state of complete harmony of the mind, body, and soul. As a huge part of our program is Stronger, keeping your mind and body and soul in sync with each other. Controlling your mind, controlling your emotions, controlling your soul, your spirit, your mood rather. These are important things that you'll learn how to do. Here's our mission: to connect you to your mind, your body, and your soul through strength training. You're going to get to the point where, and here's a term you may have never heard, PR. What does that mean? Personal record. What does that mean? Well, you're going to get to the point in this program where you are going to set personal records. You're going to do things that you've never done. You're going to have weights, achieve weights, and push weights, and pull weights that you've never been able to do. And they're going to be personal records. So you're going to see that you can set a goal, you can work hard for that goal, and you can achieve that goal. So when you walk out of here, you'll know today, I set a personal record. I'm walking on air because I know that I have the ability to set a goal and to accomplish that goal. And I'm getting really strong in the meantime. 4 lists we're going to focus on mostly. There may be some auxiliary things depending on some goals and things like that, but this is the bedrock of the program. Squatting, benching, dead, and the press. This is the shoulder press, overhead press. These are the basics, the foundational things. They're not fancy schmancy. This is not machines or novelty for the sake of novelty. We're not going to be outside today and inside today, and we're all going to wear purple today. This is going to be very basic exercises, time-tested, and it works for everyone every time it's tried. When we control our mind and body, we can control our lives. This is a great saying, and this is what I want all my girls to say that are in this program. I am in the process of becoming the best version of myself. And that's what life is all about, isn't it? Being the best you can be, exploring what you can be, going into the future without fear, because you understand it's not a descent into frailty, but you're strong enough to face the future without fear, because you are becoming, not falling apart. You're getting it together, not falling apart. So stay positive and get in the program. Anytime you get something new in your life, develop a new habit, you need to have the right mindset. This is not like, well, I'm going to dip my toe in and see what it's like, or I'm going to see, maybe try a little bit. You have to commit to this. You have to say, this is it. This is where I draw the line. Today is where I start to get stronger. Today is where I start to take control of my mind, my body, my soul, my emotions, and I'm really going to progress in life. So talk positively to yourself. We all have days when it didn't go as well as we thought it was going to go, but that's okay. We're going to have another chance tomorrow. God willing, we'll keep trying. Be kind to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Say, well, everybody else is stronger than me today. I stink. Don't do that to yourself. 10% of life is what happens to you. 90% is your reaction to that. So your reaction is under your control. Something bad happens. How am I going to react to that? I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to be kind to myself. Examine and control your emotions. Setbacks are going to come, but they're temporary. This is very important, and this is absolutely one of the bedrocks of our program as well. You are an inspiration to others. People are watching you. Stay positive and be a role model for that. I want you to learn these lifts. I want you to learn what it feels like to have a personal record. I want you to feel like what it feels like to be empowered by your strength. Not to keep it to yourself, but to share with others. Other people need to see more strong women, more women under the squat racks that don't look like Big Bertha of the powerlifter. You're just a normal chick, but you're strong, and you can do things. You can bend over, I can change a tire, I can run after my kids, I can run after my grandkids, I can pick them up. I can do these things because I've experienced barbell training, strength training. So I'm a role model for people. You want to be in shape, you don't want to bend over, you don't be complaining about your back and your ankles and your this and your that. Weight training, barbell training, that's where it's at. So, Stronger is the best way, tried and true, as we said. Every time it's tried, it works. I encourage you to get on board, to set a program with us, to get up with us, and set a date when we can get started. You and the next flight are starting in November. Thanks a lot, guys.